5 to 10 minutes. And again, a possible funnel cloud sighted right here in Cross County. This is a severe thunderstorm moving toward Crittenden County, into Crittenden County, as a matter of fact. And if it holds together, it will be moving into Shelby County. So Gilmore, Arkansas, Turrell, Arkansas, you're in the path of this storm. Also Clarkdale, you're in the path of this storm as well, as a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Crittenden County. And let's see, this is going to be extreme southern Mississippi County. Yes, coming through Dias. You are not quite in the warning, but Joyner, Gilmore, Turrell, and Clarkdale, you need to pay attention to this storm. Right now, it is a severe thunderstorm warning, but a possible funnel was sighted, and there are indications of a little bit of rotation. Let me see, let me, actually, I can go in here and tell you, and we can check out on the very latest on the possible rotation to see if there is any in there with the velocity product that we use. And actually, I was looking at this just a minute ago, and there was a little bit of rotation in here. If you see the red, let me show you what I'm talking about right here, and then I'll put a new track on it for you. It would be right in here, and you'll notice lightning on that northern flank. Here's Mark Tree, Arkansas. Here is Tyronza, Gilmore, Turrell. You guys all in the path of this storm as it moves to the east, and it's moving to the east rather slowly at about 25 miles per hour. Here's Shelby County on the leading edge right here, and Millington, Bartlett, and also Marion. You're in the path of this storm, and it does come just across the river into Shelby County. Again, if you're just joining us, a severe thunderstorm warning that goes until 7:15 tonight. I'm going to put a new track on it for you, but this storm has a possible funnel with it. There are trained spotters that are out and about and watching this line of storms that is along the cold front. This is right along and ahead, just out ahead of the cold front. Let me put a new track on it for you and kind of clean up some of that data and go back to our regular radar just to give you an idea of where we are, because I know sometimes we can get a little bit too tight and you don't know exactly where our map is. So let me back out here and I will put a new track on it for you and I'll clear off some of this data. But if you are just joining us, severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Cross County, part of southeastern Poinsett County, part of Crittenden County, extreme southern Crittenden County, Mississippi County, and also extreme northwestern Shelby County. So with a possible funnel cloud sighted. That is coming to us from the Weather Center. The Weather Service. Let me see how it is moving now. Okay, this has picked up some speed. So it is now moving to the east at about 40 miles per hour. So let me put a new track on that. And I'm just going to track out the leading edge of that entire thunderstorm, moving to the east now at about 40 miles per hour. And I will show you the latest track here. There is some lightning with that. And let me extend the track out to, and by the way, these cells have picked up some steam. They were moving at about 25, and now they are moving at about 40. So there very well could be some circulation and rotation in there. Our tornado indicator right now is at a 2.6, but sometimes what happens when these cloud tops lower, and that's what I think is happening right now, that's when you can actually have a tornado. Now this currently, I want to stress, this currently is not a tornado warning, but I do think one of the reasons that a warning was issued is because of that possible funnel sighted in East Arkansas. And I can tell you it is easy over there. There's really good storm tracking, and it's easy to see because it's the Arkansas Delta. Very few trees out there, but you do need to go to an interior room or the lowest level of your floor if you are in this path that I just put out here. And again, we're giving you some lead time in Shelby County. Severe thunderstorm warning issued by the National Weather Service just moments ago. We were taking a look at this cell right at the end of the broadcast, and we have had numerous severe thunderstorms today in North Mississippi, but we really haven't had any that have showed the characteristics that this one has had. So here is the latest storm track for you. Joyner at 6:52, Turl at 6:46, so about 7 minutes from right now. Clarkdale at 6:53. You see the tracks updating in real time as we go along. That's one of the greatest things about this technology that we have here is the storm tracks update in real time. This would be a good time, speaking of time, to download our app, Local 24. You can watch us as we stream and online, localmemphis.com, just in case you lose power. Always a good idea to have that in the back of your pocket. And any day that we have severe weather, it's a good idea to have your phone charged up so you can watch us if you lose power. Sunset, Arkansas at 7:15. Millington, we're talking about Millington here at about 25 to 30, even longer than that, maybe up to 35 minutes of lead time here. Gilt Edge at 7:21, Munford at 7:24, and Burleson at 7:26. So, severe thunderstorm warning until 7:15, and I really believe that one of the reasons that this warning was issued is because a funnel cloud was sighted. And if it continues in this track, Joyner, you're in the path of it, Turl, Clarkdale, Earl, and also Sunset, and eventually western Shelby County, most likely after 7 o'clock. These storms have picked up some speed. They were moving at about 25 and now appear to be moving at about 40. So that is another reason that it looks like we could have some possible wind damage. When storms pick up speed, they get more velocity, and those winds can actually come down to the surface and do damage. And so this warning was not just issued for no reason. I can promise you that, because I saw the rotation right before the warning was issued, and that is why they have issued a warning. Again, here's Munford, here's Millington, Lakeland, western Shelby County. It looks like it would affect Shelby Forest first, and then come into, well, northern parts of downtown Memphis. Here's where the bridge splits right here, the I-55 bridge and I-40. So this, again, does have a possible funnel with it. Now, what I can do is go back over here to the Weather Center and check in with the Weather Service to see if I have any new updated bulletins for you. Let me do that right now as I'm multitasking. All right. Let's see here. There was a picture apparently taken of a funnel cloud, and that is what has prompted, I do believe, this warning until 7:15. Let me go and see if I can find any rotation, and I'm going to use our rotation tracker, and I am seeing some in here. I'm seeing some rotation going on with this storm right in here. There's the worst of it right there. So why don't I put a new track on that? Let's track out the center of the rotation itself. Again, moving east at about 40 miles per hour. This is going to give us this path here. Although that is just a 20-minute track, I can expand that out to about an hour, and these are the areas that would be affected. Like I said, Turl, in about 10 minutes from right now, you really need to go to your safe spot. Millington at 7:25, Munford at 7:31, Atoka at 7:34, and also Brighton headed in your direction in about, well, 45 minutes or so. So we do have some lead time. This is not to say that this rotation is going to last for that long. And again, it is not a tornado-warned storm at the moment. But I do believe this is why that warning was issued, because of what I have circled right there. If you look closely, you can see some red in there, and that red is where the highest concentration of rotation is and would be. And Gilmore, Arkansas, Turl, and Clarkdale, you're in the path of it. And we're still under a level 2 risk of severe weather, and we still have some daylight to go. So we're not done, like I've been saying in our 5 and 6 o'clock broadcast, we're not done with the severe weather threat just yet. I've been saying this until the cold front gets past everybody, we're going to be under some type of threat. And that is still going on right now. But I do believe that this is the leading edge of the front. Notice our tornado indicator. at about a 2.6, so it is holding steady. Hail is really not a concern with this. It is mainly damaging wind and the possibility of a funnel that was sighted with trained storm spotters in eastern Arkansas. And eventually, if it holds, this is headed towards Shelby County. And that is one of the reasons we're on the air, is that this is headed toward a highly populated area. Here is northern Shelby County right here, Millington down to about Frazier. Not all of Shelby County is in this warning. I should note that. A good bit is not. The eastern part of Shelby County is not, nor is the southern part of Shelby County. But if you live in Frazier, if you live in Raleigh, if you live anywhere near Shelby Forest State Park, you need to stay with us and follow this storm, because like I said, right in there where I have circled, I am still seeing some indications of rotation. Now, it is not strong enough at the moment for the Weather Service to issue a tornado warning, but I can tell you at any point that could happen. I believe that is why this warning was issued. And the good news is I haven't had any reports in the last 10 minutes, or we haven't had any additional reports of rotation, but we're seeing it on our radar. Our radar is picking it up right now. It's this red area right here, and Gilmore at 658 and Turrell at 741. You guys need to go to your safe spot. It's just better to play it safe, since a funnel was sighted by a trained storm spotter. And again, that is why we're on the air. This is our rotation detector right here. Notice a lot of lightning associated with the cell on the northern side, and that's pretty typical of cells like this ahead of a cold front this time of year in a situation and setup such as this. So that is that's what we're watching. That's what we're tracking. Let me see if we have any new information for you from the Weather Service. This warning issued right after 6:30. So we're about 15 minutes now deep into the warning. And let's see here. Now, there was a photo that was taken and sent to the Weather Service. I have not seen it. And I don't think there is public access to it. At least nothing has been posted yet. But this is something to not play around with. As a matter of fact, they are going to continue. All right, so the Weather Service has canceled the severe thunderstorm warning for Cross County, but they are going to continue it for Shelby, Tipton, Crittenden, Mississippi, Poinsett until 7:15. And here's why. I can tell you exactly why this warning continues. And I also am going to see if it has changed speed, because that is something that is important as well. No, it is still moving to the east at about 40 miles per hour, but this circulation right in here, right there, is what we're following, what we're tracking, moving to the east at about 40 miles per hour. And with that being said, let us put a new storm track on it for you. Again, I'm going to track the leading edge of that circulation moving to the east at about 40 miles per hour. This is a brand new track for you. And you can see the towns. I'm also extended out here again. You can see the towns in the path of this storm that could be doing damage. So that's why we're on the air. I'm not saying that there is a tornado, but I'm saying there is the possibility of one. And that's why this warning has been issued, and that's why we are following it. After all, we've been talking about the possibility of severe weather for days now today, and we've had warnings. We've had severe thunderstorm warnings today. We have not had any tornado warnings yet, but this is the first sign that we've had possible rotation making it down to ground level. And when that happens, you have a tornado. But we don't have that confirmed right now. I want to stress that. I can't stress that enough, that we don't have, I have confirmation of a funnel, but we don't have the Weather Service is saying they don't have enough information with the picture that was sent to know if the rotation was making it to the ground. But we need to assume that that is a possibility. Otherwise, there would not have been a warning issued. And it did come from somebody who is trained to look at these kind of things. So it does come with some pretty accurate reporting. All right, so here is the latest track. Gilmore at 650, Clarkdale at 655, Crawfordsville at 659. And by the way, anybody in the booth at any point, feel free, if you see anything on some of those T-Dot cameras downtown that are pointed to the west, to pop it up. That might be very helpful to see if we can see anything. Sunset, Arkansas at 711, Millington 722, Munford 729, Atoka 732. So the good news about this is that we are giving you lead time, and it is a good time to call your friends and family, because some people may not be aware of what is going on. Call them and say, hey, look, there is a severe thunderstorm warning that is moving through Crittenden County. It's going to be in Shelby County at about 7 o'clock, western Shelby County. Not all of Shelby County, but western Shelby County. Millington, you are actually not under the warning right now. You are just outside the warning. Let me zoom into the part of Shelby County that is under the warning. A lot of this is some rural area, but Shelby Forest State Park is up here. Of course, here is the northern leg of 240. So it actually does include the northern leg of 240 as it curls around and goes into downtown Memphis. And we are going to stay with you as long as there is a threat. And I do suspect that's why they are continuing this severe thunderstorm warning until 7:15. The good news is, at least so far anyway, it has not turned into, all right, yeah, pop up one of those cameras if you would, David. And we are looking west. Tell me exactly where tell me again, where exactly are we looking? Okay, Hallmark and 273. Is that what you're saying? Point is, we're looking west. Mile marker 273. Okay, gotcha. And so what I am looking for right now, keep it up here. I want to see this. What I am looking for right now is any sign of a funnel coming down to the ground, and I do not, at the moment, see that taking place. As we look, this is mile marker 273. Is this along I-40? Can you confirm for me? This is the, okay. All right, so mile marker 273. Do we have any other cameras that we can pop up? Maybe to your right, if you've got any more cameras. I really could, okay, thanks a lot. But keep that up just for a minute, because I think that is a good visual. We are trying to see and making sure that we do not see, actually, to be honest with you, any type of funnel cloud. Like I said, that's why this warning was issued, and it is going to go until 7:15. Let me check on the latest rotation here, and we still have some just west of Clarkdale right now. This is where the most intense part of the storm is, and if there is rotation in there, that's where it's going to be. So that being said, let's put a new track as this changing storm. All right, that's good. The next, let me get rid of that. This is good news, actually. That the latest scan that has come across is a bit weaker, although I caution you that the next scan might not necessarily be that way. So we're going to wait and watch a couple more scans on this product. I think that will be very helpful. It is also helpful to add a storm track here. The green, this is our, let me just say, this is our rotation tracker. And so what it does, it has a very specific way of honing in on rotation where winds are going a certain way over a certain area, and then different ways over basically a really tight area. And you get a funnel cloud, and it's not a tornado until it touches the ground. And we don't have any confirmation of that right now, but we do have reports of a funnel, and this is headed right through Crittenden County right now and eventually into Shelby County. I don't see this storm dying. I am hopeful that the rotation is weakening. that would be the greatest hope right now, because we don't have what I was seeing a few minutes ago was some more impressive rotation when we had the reds in here, and I don't see any of that right now, but I do want to wait for the next scan because that is going to be very telling. If there is any more red that pops up right there, that would be concerning. So the next scan will come in here momentarily, and we'll see what happens with that spot right here. Let me see what our information box is showing, and it actually does show it moving now to the east at about 30 miles per hour. Again, here's your storm track, Crawfordsville at 7:04. Here's Clarkdale right here. You guys need to go to your safe spot and take this storm seriously as it continues to travel through Arkansas and eventually come into Shelby County. And it's not far. Just to give you an idea, here's South Haven right here. Here is the 240 loop right there. Here's Bartlett, Millington. You are just on the edge of that warning. Again, that goes until 7:15 tonight. Severe thunderstorm warning for Cross County, Crittenden County. Actually, they've canceled it for Cross County. It is now for Crittenden County, the extreme southern part of Mississippi County right now. And we're seeing a couple of areas of rotation, perhaps. Let me see what this storm track here shows. It's got it moving to the east at about 30 miles per hour. Crawfordsville, 7:05. Clarkdale at 7:17. And I really hope the storm doesn't just slow down because it would actually be better for it to just move and see this rotation weaken, which I am hopeful that will be the case. As we look at it from different angles right now, I'm not seeing anything that is worse than what we were seeing a moment ago. That's the cool thing about this technology, is we can take a look at it from any angle, this storm that is, and I'm not getting any more bulletins from the National Weather Service that there is any additional information of funnels being sighted. We had that right before about 6:30, and that is why we came on the air once that warning was issued. Apparently a funnel was sighted in Arkansas, in this area right here. These are the towns under the track in the path, and eventually, I would say in about 5 to 10 minutes, it is going to be approaching the Mississippi River. Conrad, let's take that shot one more time, that shot in Arkansas, if we can, at mile marker 273, just to see if there is any more. Okay, here we go. All right, you have to look very closely here. I don't see anything right now that is that is a classic, what you would call a classic picture of a tornado. Now, we had that actually, what was that, March 27th, 28th, something like that, a very large tornado on the ground. This is not the case with this one. And I should also mention that the last scan that I have here is an improvement. So that is some good news. There is not as much red in here as there was just a few minutes ago, and that's good. So maybe the rotation is broadening out a bit, and yeah, I'm not seeing as much as I was a minute ago, but don't get me wrong, there is still some rotation going on. And if you'll look, you can actually see a path of where that storm was and how it traveled right here. And I will, let me get this off the screen right there and show you the path out of Cherry Valley, Arkansas, coming down into Crittenden County, and that has been the path that it has taken and is now moving to the east at about 25. Well, I mean, the Weather Service has it moving at 40. Let us do this. Here's a cool piece of technology that we have here as well. This is our Future Scan product. And what it does is it takes current radar data, all right? So it takes current radar data, and I'm going ahead just a little bit. This is 7:04. It looks like this cell will be crossing the Mississippi River in about 10 minutes or so, it looks like. And if it moves into Millington, it would be at about 7:15. And that actually, that warning is almost perfectly timed out. If it crosses the Mississippi River near downtown Memphis, it would likely be about 7:20. And let's see where it takes it after that. Fraser, Raleigh, about 7:33 if the warning continues. Bartlett at about 7:36. Arlington getting close to you about 7:45, at least the leading edge anyway. And out of Shelby County probably by 8 o'clock, if not before. I do believe that at least for Metro Memphis anyway, this is the last threat for severe weather. As we take a look at other areas to the north, there is not anything as intense as this one right now. That is over Crittenden County and headed toward the Mississippi River right now, moving at about, I think this is accurate right here, showing 30 miles per hour. That seems the most accurate to me, moving east at about 30 miles per hour. And this rotation right here is not as strong as it was. It's broadening out, and I don't see any reds, and that is obviously some good news. But with this new track, now that it's moving to the east at about 30 miles per hour, we could show you who is going to be affected. Clark Dell, you've been in the path of this the entire storm. And here is the updated track. Northern Shelby County, to me, seems to be in this path of if it continues like it is. Like I said, Raleigh, Fraser, those areas, maybe if it continues to hold on to the east, Millington. The good news here is that we only have that one report that came in of a funnel cloud, but they are taking no chances, and neither are we, with a possible touchdown. It has not occurred yet, but there were really good indications about 15, 20 minutes ago of some strong rotation in the atmosphere, and we don't want to mess around. We've gone, you saw what happened Sunday night. We had the tornado that hit Tupelo. We had 3 tornadoes on Sunday that hit Mississippi and caused extensive damage. I don't think this is one of those situations, but really, if it hits your house, it's extensive. So that's why we're taking it seriously. Plus, it's headed toward a highly populated area. And the good news is there are spotters out here, and I'm not hearing of any additional reports at the moment. All right, so here's your track. Millington at 7:40, so we're giving you a lot of lead time here. Munford at 7:45, Atoka at 7:50, so that's a good 50 minutes. I'm not saying you have to take shelter right now in Atoka, but you need to be prepared, and you need to watch us, and you need to have that phone charged up in case you do lose power. Also Brighton at about 7:56. This will be crossing the Mississippi River in about 10 minutes. And then it will be into Shelby County after about 7:10. So we've got 10 minutes before this circulation moves across the Mississippi River. And we do have a new storm information box to show you here. And the good news also is that our tornado indicator has remained steady at a 2.5. It has not gone up. That's what we don't want to see, that number going up. Hail, not really a factor. Wind, to me, seems to be the primary factor, along with rotating wind that could potentially come down to ground level. And that is the greatest concern right now. So a tornado indicator of 2.5, that is good. It's not going up. But here's the deal. When a cloud top starts to lower, earlier today they were 40,000 feet. Now they're coming down. Sometimes when cloud tops come down, what happens is it brings the funnel down to the ground. And that's the concern at the moment. There's obviously rotation here. This is our rotation detector, a very specific tool that we use, and you can see the green, and the green indicates rotation. Now, it's weak. Notice, there's the legend at the top of your screen. Strong would be the red. That's what we were seeing a moment ago, and extreme would be bright yellow and orange. So we're on the low end right now. We're on the weak end, but with a strong cold front, and considering we are still under a level 2 risk of severe weather, this is absolutely nothing to take lightly. We're not trying to scare you unnecessarily, but when there is a threat, we're here for you. It's our most important job. It's what we do. And we just hope that the good news continues. And look, I'm glad to see that there is not any red in here and that it's actually spreading out. That's what we want to see. We want to see space between these different bright green spots. That is good to see. If it was just one spot with red in it, which it was a few minutes ago, well, that's concerning. And now we've gone through about 4 or 5 scans where that is not occurring. And I'm walking over here to see if I have any new storm reports. Let's see here. No. Let me tell you when this report came out. It was about 6:27, and it was a picture that was relayed to the National Weather Service. I do not have it, and they have not posted it, but it was a picture from a storm spotter, and that prompted this warning. I'll tell you what else is good news. The fact that they have not issued a tornado warning is very good news. Let me get those information boxes off the screen there. Again, if you are just joining us, severe thunderstorm warning for Shelby County, but not all of Shelby County. Really, it is just Harbortown, looks like you're in the warning. Downtown Memphis, you're close enough that I would go ahead and assume, even though technically it's not, they could extend this. They could extend this warning. We'll just have to wait and see what happens with this right here. This is the key. All right, now with the latest scan, that one is a little bit more impressive. So let's track that one. Again, what I just said is we don't want to see red and green together. Red and green, that means the storm is kind of mean. I mean, that's just, we don't want to see these. This is what I'm concerned about now as I look at things in between Crawfordsville and Marion. You see this red right here? That's concerning now that we have seen that scan, because this is an updated scan. And so let's track that out. Moving east, like I said, at about 35 miles per hour. So let's do that. I'm going to track that shear, that rotation that I just saw just minutes ago. Okay, and this is a big area now at Southland Park. There are a lot of people that frequent Southland Park, and there's a lot of people that are there. It doesn't matter what time of day or what day of the week. There is a lot of people at Southland Park. And if you were thinking about going over there, which a lot of people do at this time of day as they get off work, it is not a good idea to do that. Let me just give you that information. Please do not travel across the bridge right now west into Arkansas, because it's dangerous. And you could be driving into rotation. And we have, my gosh, what a season it has been. And my gosh, how fortunate so many of us have been. When you look at some of the pictures of what has gone on, it's been a bad, severe weather season so far. We've seen a lot of damage. This is not what I would call your classic supercell. In fact, it's not. But all it has to do is put down a tornado for a brief moment, and it can do significant damage. And so now it is the southern part of the storm right here that I'm most concerned about. So Southland Park, do not head west into Crittenden County right now if you're in Shelby County. Do not head over there because it's not safe. Just wait and let this storm pass. And we have about 8 minutes left to go in the warning. It'll be interesting to see what the Weather Service does with this. If it holds together, it'll be in the Bartlett area at about 7:42, Wolf Chase at 7:52, and Lakeland, which is in extreme eastern Shelby County, at about 7:55. So we have plenty of time to track it. It is beginning to cross the Mississippi River, although to me, I think the strongest part is right here around Marion on this southern flank now, and typically that's what you would see if there was a funnel coming down. All right, let's take it. camera looking towards Marion, Arkansas, looking due west. Okay, toward Jericho. All right, well, we're seeing rain right now, traveling. You see the water coming off the highway there from the 18-wheelers, but thankfully not a lot of travel right now, and it is really hard to see because it's now raining. So if there is a circulation in there, it's almost impossible to see at the moment because now we have heavy rain, and we didn't have that a minute ago from that other camera. So that makes it even more dangerous and even more unsafe. If you cannot see and you're driving into that, I promise you, you don't want to be doing that. All right, let's go back to the radar as we continue to track this, which is the area of concern to me. That's the greatest concern. And these would be some of the areas in the path. Also, the University of Memphis, you guys are not out of the clear. In fact, nobody in Shelby County is until this thing clears the Mississippi River and this cold front comes through. Nobody is out of the woods yet. The good news, if you are just joining us, is that we only have one report. But all it takes is one report. We do have confirmation that there was okay, and they have extended the warning now, and that tells me that they are not, this is not weakening, and the Weather Service is still concerned. So for our production team and for our folks, our digital folks that are working remotely, here's what is going on. And for all of our viewers that are watching right now, National Weather Service has extended the severe thunderstorm warning into Shelby County even farther until 8 o'clock tonight. Bartlett, Lakeland, Arlington, Millington, you are now all in the warning. Germantown and Collierville, you guys also are in the warning. Let me see how they have updated the speed of this. And all right, let's see. It continues to move east at 40. Summit, and so let's track it at 40. And, you know, I hate that the system does this, but it's just what we're stuck with these warnings. And I know it can get confusing and complicated because one warning is being replaced by another warning. So let me turn it off, and we'll put a new track on it. I can tell you who's in the path. Bartlett, Collierville, Germantown, West Memphis, Marion, Millington, Shelby Forest State Park, been talking about you, Cordova, Memphis, University of Memphis, Lakeland, Arlington, Sunset, Arkansas, we've talked about you, Ellendale, you are also in the path of this storm moving to the east at about, let's see, this one, let me see if is moving to the east at 40, so maybe a little bit faster now. Let's put a track on it for you. And like we said, Southland Park, that is where the casino is in West Memphis. If you are not familiar with Southland Park, that is in West Memphis, right off the interstate. And I'm telling you, it has grown so much over the last 5 to 10 years. A lot of people are over there at any given time. And so please, and a lot of people around this time, 7 o'clock, especially as the days get longer, decide to head over there. And what we are telling you is that that is not a good idea. And what I am also telling you is that the warning has now been extended into a good part of northern Shelby County. So here is your updated track. 723 in Millington, Mud Island at 727. So we do have a lead time here. Bartlett at 733, Wolf Chase, which is at I-40 in Germantown Parkway, the Wolf Chase Mall area at 741, Lakeland at 743, Arlington at 745, and Galloway, you are also in the path of this at about 748. And one thing I can do, and guys in the booth, please feel free to take a look at any of those TDOT cameras, and if you see anything, feel free to pop it up because those visuals really do help out. And we saw in Arkansas, I was taking a look at some of those cameras. I did not, thank God, see what I saw on March 27th when we had that big, large tornado that touched down in Mississippi County. I do not believe this is one of those situations. But I also believe that this is, well, I know it is going to affect a large population area. That's a problem right now. Even if it is a tiny circulation center, it is going to affect a huge amount of people in this path. And now, like I said, a new warning issued until 8 o'clock. Basically, what the Weather Service has done is they have extended the warning that was initially issued. So it goes until 8 o'clock now. And so just for everybody, know that we're going to be on the air as long as there is an active severe thunderstorm warning and as long as there's a threat. And one thing that we have not done lately is taking a look at the rotation. And to me, I'll be honest with you, it does not appear to be as strong to me, just judging by the radar. That's not to say it's not there. Okay, I will say this, at the I-55, all right, here is the I-40 and 55 split right here, and that's going to be just north of that split near Marion. Let me zoom in and give you some street level names here. All right, take it. Take that camera right now. This is looking, okay, all right. Sunset, Arkansas. That is where the rotation is right now. This is going to be just north of Southland Park. So hopefully, but I will say this, Marion, you need to be in your safe spot right now. This is looking toward Jericho, and I'm looking closely to see if anything is coming down out of the clouds. To me, that looks like what we call scud, and that is basically just clouds that can look like wall clouds, and wall clouds can turn into funnels. Keep it up, yeah. This area right here, this is what we're watching and concerned with. But if you will notice, that is not coming down to the ground. Now this over here, I really can't tell because there are trees here, but it does not look like that is coming down to the ground. But at any moment, this looks like a wall cloud to me that is rotating. There is clearly rotation in there, but if you'll notice, it is not coming down to the ground. Not right now. This is a live picture in Arkansas. Correct me, guys, in the booth if I'm wrong, from Jericho toward Marion. And Marion is basically where this circulation is right now. This is about 5 miles. And look at that. Is that a rainbow right there? It would be beautiful if it wasn't in a situation like this. But so you have a rainbow here. But the good news is I'm not seeing anything coming down to the ground. That's an area of suspicion there. But as you look back further, you want these tops to be level. I don't want to see anything coming down out of the clouds to the ground. But that is an area of suspicion right there. And you can see the clouds rotating as this live picture, these clouds continue to move. And at any point, one of those could come down to the ground. But not seeing that right now. Beautiful rainbow, by the way, if we weren't in a situation like this. All right, back to the radar right now because I do want to take a look. We're looking directly into this with that camera view. David, good job on that, finding that view because if there is anything in here, that's where it would be, right there. That's what I'm seeing as far as any rotation goes. That is the worst of it right now. I can go back to regular radar as we speak. Let me move this down a bit. Actually, let me take that off and zoom back into Shelby County. I'll stop it right there, and we'll take a tighter zoom here, and I'll show you who all is under the warning because it is not all of Shelby County. It is just part of Shelby County, but it's a big part. It's the northern part of Shelby County, and actually I say that now, and it is extending down into basically 2/3 of Shelby County. So I said not all, and it is still not all, but it is a good chunk. And it is this area right here that we were just looking at. Let's go back to that, actually, because I want to see if anything has changed in that picture, if we could, David. Yeah, I still am not seeing anything come down to the ground. You're seeing a low base in the clouds right there, but I'm not seeing anything. I'm seeing flat clouds, and that's what I want to see. You don't want to see any extension come down. But, I mean, these are low top clouds, and that is why there is a warning. It is good to see that there is not a lot of wind, because you would be able to see some of the tops of those trees. Travel is better because the rain has let up in this area. Again, we're looking directly toward Jericho and Marion, Arkansas, and that's a good sign. That's what I want to continue to see. All right, back to the radar. And if you're wondering why we're on the air, a severe thunderstorm warning with rotation. Our radar has picked up rotation and continues to do so, but it is broad and it is weaker. Now, could this be upgraded? Yeah, it's possible. As a matter of fact, I am seeing, even outside of the warning, there's some wind in here. That right there, this green indicates some weak rotation. Look at our legend right here. Weak, green, red, strong, and yellow and orange, extreme. So we're seeing weak rotation right now, and that is good. But all the areas in green are the areas of suspicion, and specifically this area just east of Marion that is about to cross the Mississippi River. And I am keeping this storm track up for you so you can know when it might be at your area. Nothing to freak out about right now, but something to take seriously. And we certainly are, because you've seen it. You've seen the damage that has come from the last couple of days. Actually, this season really has been active. And we are still seeing some indications of rotation just west of the Mississippi River. Here is, by the way, here is Southland Park, right in here. That's where the casino is, right along I-40, just off I-40. So it does look like it is going to remain north of that area, and that is good because there's a lot of people there. There is, I guarantee you, there is a lot of people down there in the Southland Park area right there. Here's I-40 right here. There's Marion. Here's the Mississippi River right here. So it is just about to cross the Mississippi River. That rotation, Mound City, Arkansas. You know that exit, if you're on I-40, right, all right, it is crossing the Mississippi River right now. Updated scan here. But here's the good news. It is still weak rotation. The rotation is still weak. And it does not appear to me to be strengthening at the moment. And thankfully, let's hope that trend continues. We've had several scans now where it has remained weak. Again, green is weak, strong is red, and we did have some red on there earlier, and extreme would be that yellow color. Let me see if we do have any new information for you that I can pass along to you from the National Weather Service. This is the second warning now, which is a severe thunderstorm warning. And I honestly, they have not said, but in my opinion, that is why this warning was issued, because of the sighting of a funnel cloud in Arkansas right before 6:30. Right before 6:30 this evening in Arkansas. If somebody could bring me some water, that'd be awesome. So here we go. Let's see if we can find any rotation. And if we can, and I still see it, but it's weak, and that is good. Let's see, moving to the east, and we're going to say the same speed because I do not think it has changed speed, but it is now moving into Shelby County, and you can see Bartlett at 7:39 and Millington, the strongest of the storm. And I have been focused mainly on the rotation because that's why this warning was issued. But as we go back to the regular radar and I'll put the lightning strikes on here as well. There is not a lot of lightning, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to have a lot of lightning in a situation like this to have some problems. One other thing we don't have right now is any of our automatic storm tracks that pop up. We call them storm skits. They're those arrows. I don't know if you've seen them when we do our coverage, but I'm doing a 360-degree turn of the storm right now, vertically and horizontally, and I'm not seeing any strong rotation. I am seeing weak rotation, but I guarantee you, with everything going on, the Weather Service is taking this seriously, and certainly, I believe, warranted, because we are still under a level 2 risk of severe weather. Once this passes, this is going to be the end of it for Shelby County at least. Once this is over at 8 o'clock, I really think our threat for severe weather is going to be over in Shelby County. Now, that is not the case for North Mississippi, although the atmosphere, you guys in North Mississippi have had so much rain today that I gotta believe the atmosphere is more stable in North Mississippi than it is in West Tennessee. It's just gotta be, because I mean, inches of rain fell earlier in North Mississippi today. And right now, Shelby County has not seen as much rain. So there is more energy here. And again, I'm keeping this track up for you because I want to make sure that if you're in the path of this storm, Bartlett 7:39, so we've got about 14 minutes till it gets to Bartlett, Millington at 7:39, Lakeland at 7:50, Arlington at 7:56, Galloway at 8:02, and Oakland at 8:09. That would be Oakland in Fayette County. As you cross the Shelby-Fayette County line. So just to give you a perspective of where we are, this is a severe thunderstorm producing rotation, and at one point it was strong rotation. And now it is not as strong to me. What about wind speeds? Let's check on that. To be honest with you, I'm not sure we're going to find high wind speeds. I really think this is more of a precaution by the Weather Service because there was a funnel sighted, and that's no joke. And what a tornado was maybe trying to form and come down to the ground and could at any point, and I really believe that's why that they are keeping this warning active and have actually expanded it into Shelby County through 8 o'clock tonight, this evening. And when this is over, that'll be it. We've been talking about exactly when it's going to be over, but when this passes, we are going to be done with the threat for severe weather for Shelby County, not for our eastern counties, but for Shelby County, as we continue to track rotation that could produce a tornado at any point. We're still, like I said, under a level 2 risk, but we want to give you right now some real-time storm tracking as opposed to getting too technical. The reason that I have our rotation detector on is because that is really what I'm looking for. This does not appear to be a hail situation, and it really, damaging winds, yeah, any kind of rotation that comes down to the ground is going to do damaging winds, but I just think in this situation, we're being overly cautious and making sure that a tornado doesn't pop out of the clouds onto the ground, and it could. It could at any point. So if you are just turning on your television, we are live, wall-to-wall coverage, and we're going to stay live as long as there is a threat of weather. And it's coming through right now. The cold front is coming through as we speak, and it is right out ahead of the front sometimes where you have the strongest lift, and really, quite honestly, where you have the strongest downdraft from the storm. And that downdraft can pull the rotation to the ground. And that is when you have a tornado, when rotation actually makes it to the surface. But as of now, we have only that one report of a funnel cloud and a picture that was sent to the National Weather Service right before 6:30 of a funnel cloud. And they took a look at it. I have not seen it, but they took a look at it, and it certainly did look like one was coming out of the cloud. It's a trained weather spotter, by the way, so they know what they're doing. But as far as our rotation detector goes, not as impressive as it was in Crittenden County. But with this storm affecting so many people, and with the possibility of it putting down a tornado at any point, we're being extra cautious, especially considering what we've seen in recent days. Folks, it happens. It may not hit your house, and you may think, oh, there's no threat. Yeah, there is. There is a threat, and that's why we're here to tell you about it. I am happy to report good news that we only have that one report, and we don't have any other confirmation. And quite honestly, I do believe now that this storm is over such a highly populated area, well into Shelby County right now, that we will get reports quickly if anything does take place, and it could. I mean, I saw the rotating wall cloud. We put it on the air, and it looked to me like it could put down a tornado at any point. Now, what I'm going to do is go back to our shear product here, the shear rate, and we're looking for, well, I'll tell you what we're not looking for is the deep reds that we saw a moment ago. Now we're on to our shear product. And I don't want to get too technical here, but basically, this is the way to look at it. It is our rotation detector. And right now we have weak rotation. If you'll notice at the top of your screen, that green, right there. That's where it is right there. Thankfully, it's not red. It was in Arkansas. It was red, strong. Extreme would be yellow. And right now, we are seeing light green, and it's spread out. To be honest with you, it's this tiny little area right here. And now we're getting down to street level, and we'll show you exactly. It's going to be crossing Watkins. And here's the northern leg of 240, James Road right here. Where it's now well into Shelby County. Here is the Mississippi River right here. And now I am starting to see some red, and that is not good. That's not what we want to see. As we get closer, here's Millington Road right here. So this is going to be approaching Thomas Street, Millington Road. Here's Steele Street right here. Like I said, I-40, the northern leg of I-40 is a little bit further south. So as we travel a little bit further south, here is the northern leg of I-40, James Road, Clifton Avenue. This is going to be moving over the Raleigh area, the Fraser area, very near you as well. And now we are getting better signs of rotation with this last scan. Like I said, that is why we're on the air. Let me stop that right there. That's why we're on the air, because the rotation, it can weaken, it can strengthen, and everybody in this path has the possibility of a tornado dropping down at any point. Guys, if any of the TDOT cameras, if you see anything that looks interesting, because, okay. All right. Hollywood, yeah, let's take that one. Yeah, because let's all right, now we're the new scan is weaker again. That is good. Okay, yeah, I'm just seeing those flat cloud bases and not the what I call scud, or the real dirtiness. It's hard to describe, but you want to see that flat base. When you see those clouds that like appear too low, and look like they're spinning, that's what you don't want to see, and that's what we saw in Arkansas. So let me put a new track on the rotation here, and some of this is close to the radar site itself, and can be a little misleading. But I'm going to track where now I believe if there is a tornado, it would be moving to the east, and there's nothing confirmed, but moving to the east at about 40 miles per hour. Let me update the time here. Again, as the speed continues to change, and there's the areas that would be right in the path of that shear. All right, a significant weather advisory has been issued for Crockett, Dyer, Gibson, Lake, Obion weekly till 8 o'clock. That is a separate cell, which is good. By the way, it's a great time to tell you to download our app. Should you lose power, Local 24 is our app and our website, where it'll give you peace of mind during storms, because a lot of people are scared of storms, and understandably so. And that's why we're here. It's the most important thing we do. And even though the airport is not, Memphis International Airport is not under this warning right now, don't let your guard down, because it could be. But right now, look, the Weather Service is doing a really good job of painting this out, this warning, and we're on it. Tracking the rotation right here. Now it has crossed the Mississippi River, and now it is moving to the east at about 40 miles per hour. And here's your updated track. We are talking Bartlett at 7:45, so about 10 minutes from right now. Again, nothing to freak out about, but nothing to go outside about either. And if your kids are out, friends, family, tell them what's going on, that there is some potential. There's some potential rotation, and a tornado could drop. We don't look. This is, to me, it's not a hail situation. Earlier today, yeah, but no, I don't see any signs of hail in this right now. What we're tracking is rotation that came out of Arkansas. You see that red? That's where it started, back near Earl, north of I-40, and it has now progressed into Shelby County, and will continue to move through mainly northern parts of Shelby County. Although downtown Memphis, you're not out of the woods just yet, because there is some weaker rotation, it looks like, going on right now around Harbor Town. But in about 5 minutes or so, you should be in the clear in Harbor Town. But you're not yet. Well, you're getting closer to it. Let me put it that way. All right. I got some good news, folks. Since the rotation has weakened, there is no, I believe the National Weather Service has canceled this warning. And if they have, we'll go back to programming. But I want to make sure, yeah, there we go, they have. Good news here. But don't let your guard down. I would say over the next hour or so in Shelby County, remain weather aware. But when this passes, the threat is gone and will be over. But it's not over for the rest of the area. We still have all our counties east of the Mississippi River under the threat. But since they have canceled this warning, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take you back to programming, but we are going to be right here. And if we have any other warning issued, we'll break in. But right now, let's take you back to programming.